How we doing, everybody? Yeah, we made the trip to Aquah. No, originally we weren't going to go. That is primarily based on the fact that the information I'd received from the person who first made me aware of it was that it was further away than it actually was. If you watched the last sort of road trip we did down to Fishkeeping Southwest, yeah, the same thing happened. We had some great conversations, met some really, really great people, and not a lot of filming got done. So now we're going to see it. It's going to be a bit of a run through. It's not conversations with people. Some of the things that we spoke about, we couldn't even have aired if we had filmed them. But we met some really, really great people. We made some good connections, and we've got some exciting things to look forward to going forward. So let's run the VT. Now, we did come away with a fair bit of stuff. Some of it was free, most of it was paid for. Cool, that's kind of what you expect. When you come through the door, everybody, or every couple, every group was gifted one of these. Except it doesn't look like that. It was pretty much flat. Now it's free. I'm not saying that's terrible. Anything free is always gratefully received, okay? Now, our event, Fish Fate, our giveaway bags are better. We've not given out so many. They're very, very limited. So there is obviously that in mind. What did we get? For those of you that didn't attend, we got decapsulated Artemia. We got reef flakes. We got community flakes. Very, very small amounts. Now, if you happen to be one of the first groups in the queue for Fish Fate, you will get a much more substantial volume of food, both from us, Wild Shrimp, and also GM Aquatics, who are supplying Dr. Basilia. Yes, that's right. Proper usable amounts. But anyway, free stuff, never going to say no. It's always greatly received. JBL, this is a company I do like. I highly rate their Artemia hatching system. Highly rated, because most of all, you can daisy chain them and run them all from one air pump. Very efficient power use. This, whatever this is premium daily food. Not a brand I'm aware of. If you are, cool. I don't mean any offense. It's obviously very professional, probably a bigger outfit than we are. Soft granules. So that is something I like. I'm very, very into the soft granules with the premium discus food, the Vitalis that we did have a bit of a chat about at the event. Soft ground because it preserves more of the oils and some of the nutrients. Now, it depends on whether people are testing before they're baking, which they shouldn't be. But even heat treated products like some of ours and Dr. Basilia, the classic stuff like the fluval bug bites, that will have lost some of the nutrients as it goes through the heat process. However, the nutrients that are printed on the packet are what you actually should get. Should be tested post-heat. So we hadn't been through the door 5 minutes. We're just making our way up the first sort of aisle. We're orientating ourselves. And I feel somebody sort of shoving me in the back. Now, if you know me privately, so I spun round, and outside the Oase booth is this guy. So obviously we had a chat, and if you don't know who that is, by the way, he's coming to our event. That's Fish Shop, man. Come on. How can you be on YouTube and not know who he is? If you want to come and meet him in person, Fish Fate, Gloucester, Quedgeley, 5th of October, 2025, just in case you're watching this after the fact. But yeah, make sure you're there. He's an absolute legend. Come and have a good time. He'll answer your questions. He knows pretty much everything there is to know about community tanks, and even some of the more specialist stuff, especially if you've got questions about saltwater. He's definitely your man. But anyway, now a lot of the stores were there giving away little free samples. Some of them were even doing little competitions. My little girl downstairs colouring in a sheet that we got from one of the guys, and I'm really sorry, like, I can't even remember. Mrs. Shrimp spun a wheel and won some Aqua One tropical flake food. Almost anything else that she could have won on that would have been of more use than that. It's not like we're short of food. Yeah, we had a great chat with the distributor ALF. Hopefully something exciting coming with that. They are a wholesaler, one of the biggest wholesalers. They wholesale some of the best names, the biggest brands, the Eheims, Sicces. We actually got a good look at Eheims' newish sort of NFC Wi-Fi kind of range. And it is very interesting being able to control things from your app, keep an eye on temperatures, this, that, and the other. And that conversation then led us on to Sicce, which obviously involved me in this guy. But at the same time, we were having a really good conversation with Brian, who is the international sales rep, and also another guy. I'm terrible with names, guys. He's actually one of their chemists. Very, very, very smart guy. And obviously, that's right up my street. So we were having a conversation about this prime and the powder equivalent safe, which, if I was more well prepared, would be here, but it's not. It's over there somewhere, or in a different room. Who knows? And do you know they're not the same? Now, you may know this, but this was sort of news to me. I've never really studied packaging, anything like that, but everybody always sort of says that Prime is the liquid version of Safe. Now, that is not the case, and that is confirmed by Sicce's chemist. So my question to them was, are Safe and Prime chemically identical? Forget stabilizers to put it into a liquid form and become Prime. Are they identical? No. Now, up until that point, I'd been ignorant of the packets, and because I'd been told that by other YouTubers, I took it as read that they were both the same. They did the same jobs. Only today I found out they don't. Now, we stopped using Prime for this stuff because this treats bigger volume, so it's sort of more cost efficient. Only slightly, but it is. But we still do use Sicce Safe. The difference between this and Safe is they still dechlorinate, they still treat your ammonia, your nitrite, your chloramines. But this, remember, treats the heavy metals, whereas Safe doesn't, and doesn't claim to. It's not like they're pulling the wool over your eyes, it just doesn't. So that was a conversation that we were having regarding the L46s and some of the issues we've had with one of the breeding tanks. They've gone away, they took it very, very seriously. They've gone away, they're going to raise a ticket. We're going to talk about it. Me and Brian are going to connect probably later this week. And we're going to sort of discuss possible outcomes of that and what it might mean for them going forward with testing. It was a really, really great conversation to have. Very nerdy, very, very nerdy, very sciencey, which clearly lit me up like a box. So yes, TMC, if you've ever been into a quality shop or you've watched our channel on what we feed our foods, you will know TMC, Tropical Marine Center. They do an awful lot of stuff. We had a really, really great conversation with one of the guys down there. Again, terrible with names. But not only do we speak about the gamma radiation of the foods to make them safe, and that's one of the reasons that we highly recommend gamma food from TMC, frozen food with no chance of parasites or pathogens. But we got talking about the efforts that they are making to restore coral reefs. Not only restore the coral reef, but restore environments to what they should have been. So, we've all seen the pleco and the lionfish invasions of water they're not supposed to be in. Well, they're obviously devastating it. And TMC are actually making steps towards returning them to what they're supposed to be. Now, it is not only the corals. They are doing fantastic, proper science geeky stuff at their facilities with shortening what a coral believes to be a year into a month with light cycles. And it's proper nerdy stuff. I won't bore you with it, but it is incredible what they've actually been able to achieve. They're now developing those systems to go worldwide so that other people can do it. They're not gatekeeping it. They're not saving it for themselves. They're not the single heroes. They understand that this problem needs to be tackled by a lot of people, and they're getting on it. So they're developing these systems to make available their technology that they've got so that other people can join in the effort to save the coral reefs. Much like we were talking about in the KH video, if that's even out yet, the acidification of the sea. If that gets sorted, then rebuilding these reefs is going to be such a big effort, and it is going to be required. It's going to be necessary. But moreover than that, rather than just the corals, the way that they harvest the wild caught marine fish that come to them and then they then distribute is also very sustainable. In fact, it's replenishing rather than just taking out, because they specifically ask for the fish to be caught at a very small size. Now, I know what you're thinking, oh, poor little babies. Yes, the poor little babies are taken away to the nasty people at TMC so that they can sell them on. Except 90% of those sweet little babies wouldn't make it to adulthood anyway, because they would have been predated on by other things, the natural predators, but then also maybe the lionfish that aren't meant to be there. So rather than having that population decimated, what they do is they take two and they sell one, they grow one up to adulthood where it can't be predated on by other things that would have when it was smaller, then reintroduce it. So they might be removing one from the wild, but they are also giving back an adult that would never have made it. That's such a refreshing thing to hear, because everybody's sort of, oh, the aquarium hobby, the CO2 footprint, the fact that you're taking things out of the wild. TMC are actively trying to repair any damage, not that they've caused, or the aquarium hobby in general, but that the human race has caused. Okay, so yeah, bumped into George, and although Tropica weren't there, Denale were. Now, the two women that were running the very, very small Denale booth were absolutely fantastic and very, very generous. Now, some of this was paid for, some of it wasn't. I'm very, very pleased. So what do we come away with? You know, the pen, the bag, the towel, which you might just see a wild shrimp version of that exact same towel. It's a, this from Car Detailing, it's a closed loop, fairly short nap terry towel, which is double-sided closed loop rather than just being closed loop on one side. If you're not a car detailer, it probably won't mean that much to you, but it's pretty good. It's not a Maidenhead one. Let's put it that way. So, plant-wise, what did we leave Denale with? Well, probably should have been more prepared with this, but quite a lot. We have Bucephalandra species. And that means that the people that grow this are saying it is a special edition, but there's no name for it yet. Now, that might be because it's a special hybrid that they're working on that hasn't been named, or it might just be a species that has not been described to science yet. But that one's going to be going in Mrs. Shrimp Tank. So, there is quite a few. She also took a liking to Aquah Arctica. Yeah, very, very beautiful. Once that goes in, there'll be some footage, probably on the Facebook page, about that one. I came away with some more Monoselenium tenerum, because I love this stuff. You should have probably seen that we did a short on that very, very recently, because it is one of the greatest and easiest plants. It's very much like the Swasitang, but harder. Okay, hardier, but also harder. It's kind of brittle, whereas the Swasitang is that little bit pliable. This stuff's kind of crispy. But I genuinely just cannot believe my luck. 4 pots. 4 beautiful pots. That is not sparse. Any of you massive Buse fans out there are going, surely not. Surely, is it? Yeah. We came away, honestly, Brownie Ghost. 4 of them. Speechless. Yeah. So I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with those yet. I love Bucephalandras. Okay, we have... this. This is a very special one, which has not been treated too well recently. This is Bucephalandra Helena 2012. That piece, generally £10 a leaf. Maybe 15. So, yeah. We do like our rare Buces here. So, yeah, come away with 4 large pots of Brownie Ghost special edition pots. I know I've always been sort of a Tropica fan, but Denale just, but I'm not fickle. And obviously, wherever Denale are, this guy is. So MJ was very, very busy. He was in high demand. Obviously, he's a really nice guy. gave me as much time as I wanted, and we did speak about a bowl that he has. If you haven't seen MJ's channel, definitely check it out. This guy's one hell of an aquascaper. But he's also got marine systems that are not traditional marine systems. And the one that really inspires me and that we spoke about was he has a bowl. Now, we're used to bowl terrariums or little bowl aquariums with shrimp in, but he's got a marine salt version. It's got one little blue and yellow damsel fish in it. I think it's a damsel. And a couple of shrimp and some really, really stunning sea algae. And that's it. He runs a wave maker and a heater. That is it. No filter, no protein skimmer, no surface skimmer, none of that. And it is beautiful. So I really do think that is something that, especially having now spoken to him about it, it's probably something that we're going to look into in the very near future here. So we will make sure that you don't miss a single bit of that. It will be a learning curve for us. So you will be learning it at the same pace as us. So all the questions that you might have, hopefully I will have, and then we'll be able to just to go through that together, which would be really, really awesome, because I love the freshwater. I really do. Freshwater is my life, but lately I've been drawn more and more and more towards breeding marine. So watch this space on that one. So was it worth the £20 entrance fee? For your average freshwater guy, no it wasn't. There wasn't that much there for freshwater, unless obviously you were into shrimp or you wanted to pick up maybe an FX4 or a big filter with a slight discount. All events have discounts, right? But what we got out of it was fantastic. So for us, it was definitely worth it. I mean, we have a ticket in with Seachem, and we've got other conversations to have going forward, which I'm very, very excited about. Shrimp Corner, we've got something that we will be working on together, which I am very, very excited about. Just working with him. I mean, him and his family are so much like us. I just think it'd be really great to get that going. Also, with ALF, the wholesale distributor for Sicce, things like that. So you can't really talk about Sicce without Jay Wilson, this guy. Now let me just tell you a little bit about Jay Wilson. So I kind of got hold of him after speaking to one of the Italian ladies that works for Sicce. I went back to the ALF booth where they were, because ALF distribute Sicce, and Jay was sitting there, and bearing in mind the event shuts at 4 o'clock. It's been a long weekend. I come up to him, he's sitting there and he's knackered. I can see it, but I've got a question. He was knackered, end of a long weekend, and he still took the time to give me a one-on-one talk through of the prototype of their big canister. It's not even finished yet. He's had a lot of influence, and he's talked me through what he has sort of insisted that Sicce put in place. And this seems to be typical him. If it's not good enough, it's not good enough. We need it to be better. And with the Sicce stuff, you can really see it. The impact that the sharks are having on the industry. This canister filter is great. It looks absolutely fantastic. Sort of carbon fiber reinforced latching handles, a much stronger carrying handle, so you haven't got to carry it with sort of a vice grip. It's just got a big bucket handle on the top, and it is solid, really solid. Very simple flow through design, and an internal pre-filter. But Oase already do that, yes, but this is better, because I don't know, it's seen the same problem that I have with the big Biomasters, or whatever it is they're called. That pre-filter, I mean, I don't think you need it. I think a sponge on the intake is much more serviceable, and that is because if you have an Oase cabinet, that pre-filter is great, because Oase cabinets have roller doors, sort of roller floor, which you sit your filter on, roll it out, remove, and this long pre-filter comes out. Now, there's no need for that long pre-filter, is there really? Okay, maybe if this bit's clogged, this bit takes a bit longer to clog up. So you could go longer between servicing, but it's a pre-filter, so you shouldn't be wanting to go longer between servicing. The problem with it being long is if you don't have an Oase cabinet, You have to pull the whole thing out. So with a vice-like grip, lift it out, and then you can get it out. You cannot remove that pre-filter in most cabinets. It has to come out. So Jay and Sicce saw the same problem I do, and their pre-filter is about that big. You don't need to move that canister at all. It doesn't need to roll out on a special cabinet. You don't need to lift it out. Twist, out it comes. And you can't put it in wrong, because simple design allows it to only fit one way, the correct way. There's even a little red sort of locking knob at the top, right dead center on the head, so that when you put that in, you turn it, you not only get an audible click, you get a visual pop-up. That is locked, that is safe, that's good to go. No problems, no questions. Depending on if we need them, which we probably don't. I mean, the FX4 and the other fluvels are going to run forever. I would really like to try a few of those. Maybe even replace the fluvels that we've got here with those. Not the E-Hinds. I will not be replacing those Echo Pros anytime soon. Saying that, I don't know what Sicce are offering that is a similar size, but your FX6 equivalent, this prototype we were looking at, runs only 25 watts. Now with the price of electricity going up and up and up, the difference between, I think an FX6 runs 40 or 45 watts, this thing is only running 25. Now that's why I love the little E-Hinds, because they run on 5 or 7 watts. So that is a rundown of most of the interesting conversations that we had on the day. Obviously, there's a lot we can't tell you, some of which might actually have an impact here at Wild Shrimp, which is exciting, but kind of scary at the same time. Now, there was an awful lot of marine stuff, mostly corals. There was store after store after store of corals. Now, other than the difference between SPS and LPS and being able to admire their beauty, I don't really know that much. So don't expect to see a reef tank here anytime soon. This is always going to be a freshwater channel, even if we do in 2026 have a little look at the marine side, because everybody knows I love black and white, hence the CW111s, the 236 super whites, and the 46s and the 471s. Just there's black and white everywhere here. So it stands to reason that I do want to have a look at maybe breeding black and white clients. And there was a store there, which we're going to have a look at now, that really caught my eye. Also, we're going to have a quick look at Shrimp Corner, because I've told you a little bit about them, but some of the Caridina species that they have are unbelievable. Now, let me tell you this. They were under Chihiros lights, and this is only an iPhone 15 Pro. The colors, if you're impressed by the colors that you see, imagine that turned up to 11. Honestly, just wow. So we're going to let you do the music, do the talking, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, now this one really did excite me because what we're looking potentially to get into and try a hand at next year. This store, Clownfish for You, was outstanding. What you're looking at there is baby clownfish under 24 hours old. They had 3 display tanks ranging from under 24 hours old to about the 2-week point. And they were just mesmerizing to sit and watch. So many. I mean, these were not for sale because fish sales were not permitted on the day. Invertebrates, yes. Fish, no. But they still turned up with hundreds of clownfish. And there they are, Clownfish for You, all tank bred by them. And the variation, the varieties, the colors, some of them have got like a metallic turquoise outline to the white patches. They are just superb. So if you're looking for something unique or just a high quality, yeah, I mean, these guys, they really did have me hooked. just hundreds of them. And the commitment to be able to turn up with a Mars system like they've got there, hundreds of fish, that is a fair bit of effort. So Lincolnshire Aquatics were there. They had the biggest booth, tons and tons of bogwood, pretty much set up an entire shop. Like you can see, there was row after row. They had all the big brands, and then shrimp corner. Some of these Caradina blew my mind. These, not so much. One of my favorite of all time, we used to breed the red wine. I just love how much they look like a candy cane. But then the real attraction was this. And like I said, if you think that orange is vibrant, under the Chihiros light, it honestly looked like a 70s glow party. Exciting going forward, because we've been talking to ALF today, and there is a certain shop, obviously not my shop, but I would love to get these bigger, better brands in. Now, it's not my shop, so there's only so much we can do. We can try and persuade them, we can put people together in a room and get them to talk it out, but there's never any guarantee. You probably know which shop I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, we had a pretty good day. Was the 20 quid per ticket worth it? No, not particularly. If you were just your average freshwater hobbyist, no, it definitely wasn't. Definitely wasn't. I mean, the Denali stand, yes. Yes. And anything you did buy there had 25% off. We had a really, really interesting conversation about Anubias, sort of Snow White, or whatever you want to call it, the all white one. And it is very interesting. Basically, what I thought was confirmed, the conditions you need to keep it in, which we'll discuss on Facebook at a later date. But on that note, hopefully you make a stranger smile today or tomorrow. Just do your best, and I'll see you in the next one.